So what's a very, very fun match to watch here on twitch.tv, Magic Friends?
I like watching Zelda. Is there any good races on today?
No.
Oh, okay.
So we'll just have to settle for this game 3 between these two that have both been in level 9 at the same time in games 1 and 2.
Yeah, their first two races were phenomenally close. Both of them had come from behinds that fell just short.
And if you missed them, go check it out. We had it on SpeedGaming 2 last night. It was a lot of fun, and therefore, here we are, game number 3 between these two, and we're underway with 6 of our Triforces. The ones that we're missing is 6 and what could either be 7 or 8. We also start with the any keys, so we don't have to worry about keys, but we also start with a letter, and we get ourselves a level to begin with. Did we just stumble across 2Q7?
Ooh, second quest. That's appropriate for these guys. They can handle it, but it's gonna really make them want to figure out. They don't have to go in 7 though, right?
No, as the case with this being level number 8. Or rather, that being 2Q7, therefore it is going to be level number 8 that they're missing. So we need 6 and 8.
And just an example of how good these runners can be, xIceBlue trying to get up. I have no clue how he's going to pull this off. If he gets into this spot, this is phenomenal.
Well, he's going to help himself out by doing an up and A and forgetting about it at this point. JSR finds the large secret. It is 80 rupees at the level 1 location. But,
so
well,
runners...
we don't know what we're going to need to do, but JSR getting sniped and takes a death himself back to start. And this is going to be an overworld where deaths are going to get costly because of that starting location.
Yeah, starting up near the river, it prevents you from going to the right. You're already kind of at the top, and there's a couple of screens that are going to be very deadly for combat. So until they get a couple hearts, they got to be very careful, even when they spawn, just getting out of that corner.
xIceBlue going to the wood sword cave, and we find that it is indeed the wood sword. Now we get to learn a little bit more about our seed. What kind of drops are we dealing with? Are they 1 HP? Well, that answer is no to the 0 HP. That's what I meant, was not 0, or rather 1, but 0. We get ourselves bombs from the red dark nuts. So
that was 7 hits on that dark nut. So we are +/-4.
We also find ourselves a green dungeon. Now, bear in mind, when we got into level number 7, it's vanilla color. This here, and it's really hard to see on xIceBlue's portion here. We're on the map he is, but this looks like we are in level 8, 2Q8.
If this is 2Q8, that's one of the 2 dungeons they are going to need.
What did JSR just... oh, nope, he did not find anything.
JSR did find something.
This is going to be level 1.
So JSR probably going to dig this level 1. With so few items he already has, we really do need to figure out any gear we can grab out of here real quick is very helpful. And
we're in 2Q1. We're full second quest dungeons.
Oh, so this is not as helpful.
There's a heart container for JSR. That is one of the 2 drops we are looking for inside of this level 1. Because what was
the Triforce for xIceBlue on the left, but he's not going to pick it up. He's going to get around that red bubble room and keep chucking.
Yeah, because he wants to get some items out of here first. Although level 8, 2Q8, is a bear of a dungeon to be searching through. You don't know which of the 72,000 staircases you need to pick up what it is that this dungeon has.
And 2 of these staircases in 8 will be one directional. You cannot go back through them. So xIceBlue cannot be thrilled about finding 2 transports because he probably will want to stay on this side where he knows how to get back to the Triforce.
Did you know that meat is a good snack for dungeon travels?
Well, I'm sure somebody wants you to have meat here.
Well, that Korea would.
Thanks, A.
First item that is not a heart container we see inside of a dungeon, they already have. Now, the any key is normally attached to 2Q8. We don't know what this means, but if we find a wand here, we can start... Oh, wait, Heart Shuffle is on. So therefore, by rule... Well, actually, I don't know. Let's get some more information about this seed.
JSR found one on the floor, so it's not definitely on or off yet.
Yeah. We got Wiz Robes inside of this level 8, so the enemy groups have definitely shuffled up. Of course, we knew that already based on the Dark Nuts that were on the overworld. We are still waiting to see more information, though.
At least the keys are only 2 hit points, but when keys are rolling up on you, you're like, come on.
Oh! You see what rolled down?
Red Wiz Robes. That's very helpful as they are in the bomb dropping group today, so...
I don't think we've seen anything to suggest that drops have been shuffled at this point. JSR finding out the useless information about where the Triforce in one is.
Yeah, Dark Nuts and Wiz Robes normally are in the bomb dropping groups, so that's standard.
And xIceBlue has decided he has had enough of this level 8. He is going to go ahead and grab this Triforce. 1 Triforce left to get into level 9. But where is it? Hey, we have a boomstick seed.
Ooh. Now we need to figure out if this is first or second quest overworld to see if that will have the money for it.
Well, we already saw one of the large secrets at 80 rupees. If this is a second quest overworld, that's the only one.
And the runners have higher priorities than grabbing that early. They're going to want that candle until they find a take any shop. Big shield and a heart in 2Q1, huh? So 2Q1 not paying off this time.
No, it isn't, but xIceBlue makes his way in here. So it was indeed the Fred moment here, the fact that we had pulled out the any key out of level 8. To answer a question from chat, how do they know it's a boomstick seed? Well, the shield is only a dungeon item if boomstick is in play. Now, you see the magic shield takes the place of the book. So the book is going to be into a store for sale between 180 to 220 rupees. We don't know which store it's going to be. And there's the large shield paying off dividends for JSR at this point. He pops back into level 7 now. Bear in mind, this is not the dungeon he needs since this is 2Q7.
This is a beautiful room by xIceBlue. He did not get hit by a fireball in that he was able to kill off those likes with everything flying around him.
I think JSR just did a retry. And I think this is more important by the fact that he got his bombs back after trying that manhandler.
Yeah, that's really wise. He probably, when he up aid to get back up on the mountain by saving, he could go in there, see if maybe Manhandla was hiding something, and once it didn't work out, he's like, all right, we're just going to keep these.
So, in game number 3, the heart shuffle, it is what? Turned off, right?
It's looking like it. I don't think.
Oh, no, it's turned on. It's turned on. Never mind. The remorse here from xIceBlue was to turn the heart shuffle on. So therefore, it's just coincidental in level 1 that we got ourselves a boss heart.
That makes these heart shuffle can make seeds very long, especially if Ganon ends up being required, or if any of the exploration items need to be required.
You know what was important about what we just saw from JSR?
I'm gonna guess that he bound Monocle Rock.
No, it's the fact that he went into a shop. The items are shuffled. We also got our second large secret, so we're dealing with a first quest overworld. Now, it's maybe still mixed quest, but it is a first quest-based overworld.
It has to be mixed quest because Monocle Rock did not open when he bombed it.
Yep. So in that case, we have a mixed first quest overworld. There will be 3 large secrets, but what I was getting to earlier is the fact that when he was in that shop, the items have been shuffled. That was the blue ring shop, and it had a candle for sale as well. So therefore, the boomstick is only going to be in one shop in all of Hyrule. It's going to be the rare shop.
Ooh, so the boomstick's not even easy to find. JSR is going to spend his money to get this candle. That's going to give him a benefit of being able to go into the Lost Hills here and do more exploration than xIceBlue has not done yet.
Yep. And now JSR is also trying to find out where the... He's going to try to figure out where this Armos item is as well. Now, xIceBlue ends up getting a small secret, so too did JSR. It is the maximum for the small secret at 20 rupees. And then there's the third and final of our large secret at 80 rupees.
So have we seen the medium secret yet?
I don't think so. JSR now knows that the power bracelet is the Armos item. It did not shuffle the item itself, however, where it is, just shuffled a little bit. That's an unfortunate death for JSR, but he will make his way back once again.
So very curious, with those 20 secrets that they found, they could also be, those could be rolled down medium secrets.
Now, bear in mind that we may not be able to get to the boomstick for quite a while, as we find another shop, and those are expensive bombs at 35 rupees. That meat is really, really cheap at 44 rupees.
JSR did find a medium secret. Our mediums are 33, so rolled up on the small and medium, rolled down on the large.
Overall, it is a pretty decent money seed. Like, it's unfortunate that 80 is the large secret in a boomstick seed, but you're not going to really complain too much when you get small secrets for 20 and medium secrets for 33.
Neither of these runners need to buy the book, but because there are 3 flags that the book could be attached to, it gives you like 3 chances at getting advantage over your opponent by having it early.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is, because we're dealing with an HP shuffle that is seeing some enemies turn high on that HP shuffle, you're going to kind of want it, as JSR pops into 2Q3 right now over in the forest. More Wizrobes. That is 3 dungeons we've seen so far with Wizrobes. So I'm inclined to believe here. There's the bait block, so that's going to be absolutely useless. xIceBlue finds what could be a very interesting level to find, because this could be 6. And if this is 6, then that's the last piece of the puzzle he needs before he goes into level number 9.
Now remember, we may not need the bow or the silver arrows or anything else if we can get these last 2 Triforce pieces, so this could be the golden opportunity for xIceBlue to take a massive lead.
JSR has done a dump band A. Now he's going to go pop up to the north. It looks like, though, the Wizrobes turned out to be that communal group, the ones that, like the Zols normally are, if the enemy groups are not shuffled. But we still need, obviously, a little more information before we can come up to that finishing product here, as xIceBlue finishes off a Gliok to pick up all of a key. And there's the Triforce room for level 3, but JSR does not need that.
So I lost to JSR in the fall tournament. I lost to xIceBlue in this tournament. So, watching some of these runners, I have firsthand experience of how excellent they can go through these dungeons. But that is the second room xIceBlue has been just beautiful in. That Gliok, 0 damage, just 4 heads, wood sword, just looked great.
I'll talk about that coming up in just a moment, but first, we do know that xIceBlue now is in 2Q5 as opposed to 2Q6. JSR gets a wooden boomerang in level 3, and trying to figure out what the second item is inside of this dungeon. He doesn't need that key. He may take this staircase to find out what's in the 2 rooms up on the top left of the corner. If we get the heart container at level 5. But both of these runners are definitely very experienced with both the randomizer. The bow is in 3, the red candle is in 5.
All right, so JSR gets the advantage if Ganon is required, because he will not have to dig that out, and there's a good shot that we will find silvers in 9, just slightly over 50%. xIceBlue now gets a combat exploration advantage because he got to save his money on that candle. He'll be closer to getting that boomstick.
Yeah, the other thing is at this point, he does not know that his boomstick. We do see that the warps have been shuffled. Power Bracelet's going to have a little more value now. And JSR is going to show us what is on the coast. The coast has a heart container, so that has not shuffled out of the pool. So both of these runners are definitely well experienced when it comes to both randomizer as well as the vanilla. JSR definitely in the top tier crew here. He was the part of the reason why there was a Zelda relay at the last GDQ.
Yeah, that was a very exciting watch. If you haven't done so, go find that VOD. Really fun stuff to watch all these runners. 9 different runners running the race running 3 different formats at the same time was great.
xIceBlue has been a runner that we've featured here on SpeedGaming in the past for the big chase for the sub 30 in the... Oh, that's a lie! We have deceptive hints!
So the deceptive hints means that half of the hints we see... Well, each hint has a 50% chance of being a lie. That one happened to be... Oh, and we have...
No sword upgrades.
Just sparkle bombs.
And given the fact that xIceBlue has 6 hearts, that is our magical bombs right there. But yeah, xIceBlue is one of the runners that had been pushing really, really strong, trying to get to a sub 30 in this game in the vanilla. So both of these runners do know their vanilla stuff. But both of these runners do know each other pretty well, as we alluded to last night. And as a such, there is a little bit of an interesting aspect to this seed.
And this being an elimination bracket just tells you how strong this tournament is. We're talking about 2 runners, one of which is almost at sub 30, one of which I believe has a sub 30. And they're in the elimination bracket. They have already lost the game to somebody who is in the top 16. So it just shows you this tournament is one where anything can happen. And there's a lot of really good runners in it.
There really is a lot of good runners. We made a mention of who it is, and it's not going to get any easier for these runners. There is our boomstick. It's valued at 215 rupees. Now, these 2 were teasing about it last night in regards to the post-race interview, which kind of prompted this little statement that you'll see on your top right corner. Now, because of the fact that this is a boomstick seed, and they made a mention about making the book required at the very end of the seed. Well, how is this going to work out if you need to get 215 rupees to buy that boomstick on this gentleman's agreement?
So they both gentleman agreement to buy the boomstick. So XIceBlue is actually in trouble. He doesn't know where the book is yet. If they follow this, xIceBlue does not know where the book is. As JSR found it on the coast, and xIceBlue is walking away from there right now. It was just there, and he's out.
Being told that xIceBlue has actually found the boomstick, or rather found the book store. We probably were
he must have seen a different
something else at that point when he had found it.
Thank you, chat. Always helpful.
Extremely. So JSR is now in this level 8. This would put him on even terms with xIceBlue. Now, here's the problem. Because we're in a mixed overworld, there's a possibility that our level 6 that we need to complete the Triforce and even level 9 could be behind another item.
Yeah, with the mixed overworld, we have multiple recorder slots that could be required. We have the 4 push blocks that could all be required. We have the 2 raft slots that could all be required. And there's been a lot of overworld checks we've already looked at that were not opening. So,
but also,
Candle Row had a miss. Monocle Rock had a miss. So there's a bunch of them that are shuffled into some of those locations.
But bear in mind, we have yet to check as JSR finds the Anikia as well. xIceBlue is about to pop into this level 3. Now, does he explore? Now, level 3 is a very, very small dungeon in the second quest vernacular. But neither of these runners have made it up to Death Mountain. So we still have a whole bunch of spots that we can take a look at.
Yeah, there are plenty of locations. None of them have made the trek up to that northeast corner where the Vanilla 100 secret is. None of them have checked level 5 yet. So there's a lot of overworld stuff that we can still explore.
Oh, xIceBlue was glad that last bomb pack did not get munched up by the the Dodongo. As JSR trying to hunt down this Triforce inside of this level 8. There's the Triforce discovery for xIceBlue as JSR continues to take a look and see where these staircases are going. Now, remember, that red candle that xIceBlue pulled out is going to help him out because of the fact that it does turn out to be a more permanent weapon than what he has in the wood sword. You can use it to tackle a little more damage and affect more enemies at the same time.
Yeah, so with the candle, if you activate it twice off of the same frame, it can sometimes do double damage as well.
There's the Triforce for JSR. Having seen the any key, he is just going to go ahead and pick this up, and I am assuming that he is just going to go ahead and leave at this point. xIceBlue is going to be really, really happy if he takes this staircase.
Well, if he's this far up and he's seen the Triforce and the banana, he's definitely going to finish this out. There's 4 rooms left for him to check. So,
JSR popping into what is 2Q5, takes a look at the map and realizes, wait a second, do I really want to be in here? He's thinking about it, trying to consult his map, trying to make sure that the positioning is in the right spot. There's the bow pickup for xIceBlue. So the advantage for JSR popping into that level 3 unnecessarily, well, guess what? It's now been nullified. Both runners with the bow. Both runners with the 7 out of 8 Triforces, but no clue where this level 6 is.
JSR getting low in this Gliok room. He had to drink part of his potion. That could slow him down in 6 or 8, as we do have red bubbles on, and the fastest way to clear that is to take a swig.
JSR finishing off with the Gliok, takes a look at his menu to just make sure that he didn't step upon something automatically. We know the level 5's items are not anything of substantial importance. That red candle that we just mentioned about xIceBlue having, it's a nice item, but it's not a required item.
Yeah, and with JSR already having a blue candle, he's probably not going to spend the time to go down and grab it. If he sees it, he'll most likely up A and leave immediately.
In fact, he's not even going to spend any more time in here. He wants to continue on in this journey. Well, the Moblin has a red candle on Death Mountain. Now, if JSR was to pick up that red candle, or to get at least far enough in that level 5 where he could see that red candle, then he would know that that is a lie.
But what's interesting is that he may start hunting for that slot, because if you find it and you can just pick it up, you're gonna grab it if it's in one of those caves. You're not gonna. He doesn't want to dig a dungeon for it, but just the extra combat. It's like, okay, I can find this while I'm going around. He's gonna end up seeing that it's not the red candle at that slot, so he'll know when he finds his woodsword cave.
But you know what? This is going to be a case here where JSR would probably prefer to have seen something like a ladder on Death Mountain, because then he would probably prioritize Death Mountain. And for some reason, we just had the Link to the Past victory music come on through. So welcome everybody to Zelda 1 Randomizer. We're apparently randomizing the victory themes in this game. What's next? The Final Fantasy 1 theme?
Wait, I know this tune. I know. How did we play the tune without the recorder? I knew that one, though. JSR is $8, 8 rupees away from getting that boomstick. xIceBlue has access to it, but I don't think he found whatever shop he found. I don't think it was in this area, because he found it somewhere other than the coast.
It's close to start. JSR checking over here at the Armos area, and we'll see xIceBlue checking a new section for us, the northeast corner.
So we've got 4 checks up in this corner. This bomb slot opens, but takes his money.
So what we have not found so far is level 2, level 4, level 6, and level 9. And JSR thought that was the bookstore. He needs one further down. And he will pick up the book for 215 rupees.
All right, JSR has validated the seed. We can start looking for the end.
Because, as we've mentioned before,
apparently book is required.
Apparently under gentleman's agreement, book is required. Well, I don't know if they were being serious about it, but we'll have to give them hell if they don't get the book.
All right, so the northeast corner did not pay off for xIceBlue. It was door repair, money, door repair.
And now he's barely got enough rupees to buy this book. In fact, that may be where he's going to next. Oh yeah, he's buying the book.
That's a beeline straight down.
That's a beeline right down here to the bookstore. JSR losing 17 rupees in the money-making game. Our tracker lighting it up in advance, knowing that we're going to be picking up this book right here. Is JSR finding more Christmas story references up here on Death Mountain.
Yeah, JSR has only 2 bombs left. It looks like he was trying to roll that money to maybe be able to buy another bomb pack. And we know they rolled high this seed, so it's not easy.
Very expensive bomb upgrades here, and oh, there it is right there. Although even if he had not, even if he didn't play the money-making game, he would still be short because he lost 17 rupees, and that would be 28 rupees. JSR has now just spent his final bomb. Now, here's the problem. xIceBlue also has the same problem.
They're
but look at that save
exactly
strat here for
spot.
JSR. Nice save scum here from JSR.
This is going to let him check the multiple bomb spots up on East Death Mountain as well. So.
Yeah, he wants to kind of help himself out with this square by screen scrolling. He's going to check the magical sword, second quest, the magical sword spot first. See if that turns out to be anything, and it is a toll plaza.
So xIceBlue still has his one bomb.
JSR's going to have to be careful. Down to a half of a heart. Oh, well, at least he got the bomb wall opened up, but that is a painful death for JSR. And he's going to save that progress because he doesn't want to have to try to bomb that thing open once again. There's a nice force there for xIceBlue before he tries to do the 2Q9 square.
That'll let him finish off this corner. JSR is going to have to come back up here to check. I believe he missed one location up here.
I do not know exactly what JSR didn't get. I was kind of paying attention to xIceBlue as he was making his way. And he gets a hint shop and deceptive hints.
I believe JSR did not get that door, and I don't think he got the door to the right of here either. Or he didn't check to see if it was available.
JSR getting a money-making game and is not going to play this time around. Pulls out his bums. JSR, by the way, plays with the select swap turned off. It is a... What was that hint?
That
Aquaman awaits with a magic shield, which is a truthful hint.
So, as part of the randomizer, just in case something would go wrong, Fred made it that if you're... Let me make sure I get this straight. If one of the mugger rooms rotates into one of the early dungeons that should have a hint, it kind of messes stuff up. So therefore, they move the hint that should be in that dungeon up to where the White Sword Cave is as like an overflow, so it doesn't make everything go Borgy Borg.
By the way, at this point, JSR should know that something's Borgy Borg with the hints because it told him that a red candle was over at the Death Mountain, and instead he got a bomb upgrade.
And especially since the runners got pinched on money buying this book, I doubt that they're going to put a lot of money into those hints anytime soon.
Well, especially with your deceptive hints. Maybe you might buy them just to kind of see what they have to say. Maybe you might end up getting something that was helpful. But at this point, we're starting to run out of locations.
It just goes to show you how good these two runners are and how close this race is. They were both on the same screen with almost the exact same gear and money within 30 seconds of each other.
I was going to point this out. xIceBlue ended up playing the money-making game. He also got minus 17. JSR, is he going to do it? I wouldn't do it if I were you. 33 rupees, he will say no as well.
So even though he knows that deceptive hints are on, the reason to check that is right now they don't even know where a dungeon is. So if they got a hint that said, like, maybe it says sail to save the princess, that could mean, okay, I need to go dig dungeons so that I can find a raft. And that, at least then you have a focus of what you're looking for, as opposed to just aimlessly trying to check every spot you haven't looked at yet.
JSR making his way via screen scrolls, and we are once again getting to a position here where we are running out of locations really fast. JSR has not checked the northeast corner, and xIceBlue is going to be checking the same things that we saw from JSR just a little bit ago.
We're missing a lot of locations to be running out of locations of the overworld. There's a lot of things missing.
And truth be told, the only dungeons that we haven't seen right now, we are missing 2 items inside of level 8. We're also missing 2 items inside of level 7 because if you are just tuning in, the remorse flag that xIceBlue as the loser in game number 2 invoked upon JSR, the heart shuffle is turned on.
So at this point, which item do you think the runners want to find the most?
Level 2 is kind of short. Level 4's got 3 items. I think of the ones you want to find that we haven't found so far, obviously you want to find 6. You would love to find 6 because of the fact that that's the one that you're missing the Triforce out of, so therefore you might spend a little more time searching that now, but I think when it comes down to this seed, you probably really want to find level 4 with 3 items inside. Now, which dungeon do you go into if you don't find what you're looking for?
Well, I think if you find a dungeon right now, you're digging the dungeon. Because there's so many blocks on the overworld. If you find 6, obviously you're digging it. But if I find 2 or 4 right now, I'm just going to dig whichever one I find that I haven't gone into yet. I'm wondering which item do they want to find. I feel like if I'm the players, I want that recorder right now. I don't want to find a raft.
Recorder, yes.
I don't want to find a raft that then loops me over to another dungeon that has something else. I want to find that recorder because of its overworld and inside versatility. Hey!
JSR has found level 4 or number 2. Either or, he's found a level.
Underneath the power bracelet slot near the fairy fountain.
And he's gonna go and get his health restored. And then we'll see what this level has in store. Or no, because he wants to find level 6. Interesting decision considering... Oh, well, bear in mind also that JSR has not checked this northeast corner. In his mind, level 6 could very well be over here in this northeast corner. Level 9 could be over here in this northeast corner.
Right. With this many overworld checks, 4 is also a dungeon. It's very blocky. It's just a giant letter D with no gaps in it. And it can get very twisty. A lot of times you get moving in one direction, and then you have to go in another direction, which is not the one you want to go to.
And that's given the idea that it might be level 4, but it's also possibility that it's level 2. And level 2 is also, like I said, it's not a huge dungeon, but it's wide enough that you can get yourself lost for a little bit.
And both those are dungeons that have secret walls, which means that they're going to have to spend some time checking and pushing on each wall as well. It doesn't take too long, but when you're in a race with these two close competitors, anything that takes another extra minute could cost you.
Northeast corner for JSR, and he will come up with the final spot on his map, the 81 rupees. xIceBlue's heading to the 7. And JSR's going in the opposite direction. Well, I think he's got a few spots he wants to check first. xIceBlue. Oh no, JSR's going to be checking the graveyard bracelet spot.
So interesting to note, I'm surprised that JSR didn't use the bombs coming across there. I wonder if he save scummed those rooms and then went back at some point. Because they weren't open, but the 2 spots to the left of the river that goes up to east...
He save scummed them.
They weren't open.
He save scummed them. And yes, we're dealing with a full second quest dungeon mix here. 1 through 6 will be second quest. 7 through 9 will be second quest as well. JSR is going to be trusting his life in some of these hints. Gliak lurks with the raft. 4 may have the raft. We don't know. Dig Dogger may have the magic shield. Well, JSR now knows that's not true. So he just got bamboozled on that hint. And Gliak returns with the power bracelet. Well, he knows that one is not a good hint either.
Well, 3 out of 4 bad hints and 1 we don't know yet. Actually, I think, was it 4 out of 5? Because the one at the woods, at the White Sword Cave was also false?
Are you talking about the one about Akumentus and the Magic Shield? That was actually true.
Oh, that was true.
Magic
That was
Shield
true. I
wasn't
didn't
one.
actually see which one what it said on that one.
Floor Drop in 7 is a heart container.
For Heart Shuffle on, these hearts did not shuffle very well. It's like a 3-year-old who just cuts the deck once and says shuffled.
Oh, that's a nice find here for xIceBlue. Oh, boomstick activated.
All right, watch your eyes, folks. If you have any form of epilepsy, there's going to be some flashing going on.
As JSR heads on over here, back to the level that he had found. And we do see xIceBlue checking these spots. He did this last night. It gave him an idea that level 9 could be ladder blocked, and it could very well be the same thing here as JSR heads into what appears to be 2Q2.
So now with the combat advantage, if xIceBlue, it looks like xIceBlue's gonna find this too right now as well.
Yes, he is.
Like, he's gonna be able to navigate this a lot faster.
The major advantage here for xIceBlue is the fact that he has unlimited bombs inside of a dungeon. Oh, shoot. At least the fires go down in a bomb.
And that's important because fires can also drop bombs. So if we need to, we can try to use that to farm up.
These two runners giving themselves a high five. We see the Staffos throwing their swords, and who they rolled high. Looks like they actually just rolled up to 3, but... You know, the most annoying thing is when Tektites roll high.
They don't have the bounce back. They just go everywhere. They're just mindless annoyances. There's a reason my wife calls them the nopes.
Couldn't you really call that for any enemy in this game? JSR trying to at least clear out this room, see what else is going on inside of here. Looks like he's trying to get himself built up for a count. Oh, no!
Runaway Tektite.
First of all, he thought maybe he could get 2 of them. He sees a bomb pack there. That's going to help him out at least. Make him feel a little less salty about just missing out on that 10 count. If he can get there.
If he can get there.
Maybe. Well, actually, no. That's the A. That's the very, very top. The dungeon 3/4 and 2!
So he can leave this dungeon if he wants. There's a lot of slots that's going to open up, and it could tell him exactly the spot that Sex is.
And that is exactly what he's going to do. If he decides that he's going to toot and see if it takes him to new dungeons, old dungeons, whatever kind of dungeons. JSR is going to blow the whistle here. And be serenaded with a nursery rhyme. I don't know why he didn't take that. Takes the death instead. As xIceBlue finds the other item in 2, which is just a heart container.
That item being in the top of this A, I wonder if xIceBlue... Oh, and it's after a shoot room!
Yep, so he's going to go in a different direction. Now, this is taking him to the he's gone to unbeaten dungeons, but it's going to the vanilla first class location. So whistle to new dungeons is not turned on. Flute to unbeaten dungeons is on. Unfortunate.
Get at JSR next to 2 flute checks, though. There's one in this graveyard, and then there's one south of here. So that is not... It's not the worst thing that could happen.
Well, it's not the worst thing that could happen, but you really wanted it to take you to 6. You wanted it to take you to the new level 6.
Especially if it's on a raft spot. That would have been beautiful.
xIceBlue needs to get into that shoot room. JSR's level 2 was a little bit faster here. We find out that this is not going to do anything for him, as he's trying to just make sure he stays alive at this point. Now, unfortunately, recording is only going to take you now to that level 6 location. xIceBlue getting the recorder. He's now seen both of those items. He is out of here.
Oh, he's gonna... Oh, JSR has to up A because he was gonna land on a dark nut. Oh, that's a cool animation. I did not know that.
xIceBlue checking these spots out here in the desert. He's hoping this will take him to 6. The problem is that it's going to take him to old 6. There's the other hint shop. I wouldn't do that if I were you, especially after you got ripped off for 2 deceptive hints.
Yeah, Tiamat, I have no clue. I had never seen that, but because he up-A'd while in the whirlwind, it then spawned him in the whirlwind.
Probably a failsafe.
So interesting, xIceBlue is now going to be making the same checks that JSR did. JSR is going to have the chance to come over here and make that one extra check before him.
2 more.
Oh yes, I forgot. Second quest 2 is also a check.
Yep. And there is level 4.
It is our 4.
JSR says, cool. I'll worry about this later if I need to. JSR going in the wrong direction, needed to just go over the right-hand side. Oh, was able to use the invincibility frames through the Lionels in order to keep himself alive. Just gotta check this one last screen. Hopefully, well, I said hopefully it'll spawn before the Dark Nuts were able to touch him, but it turns out to be nothing. We've got 2 more flute spots, 3 more flute spots actually. But before JSR is able to check them, a Lionel has this word for him.
So we have the 2 ladder blocks on the overworld that could be dungeons. We have the 2 raft spots that could be dungeons, and we have 2 more recorder spots, one of which xIceBlue should be checking in about 3 seconds.
And then he'll have the other spot here, the southeast of 3. xIceBlue comes on in and gets himself another spot where he can buy a blue ring if he wants to a little bit later on. Taking care of the Lionels right at this point, and JSR finding nothing in that one spot that's close to start.
Yeah, I think xIceBlue has the last whistle spot down here, and then we're back to digging dungeons.
If I'm JSR, if this does not turn out to be a dungeon, and it's not, my next stop is back into 2Q4.
Yeah, the seed's basically just forcing us to go step by step through each dungeon.
And here's the thing, is that we are not guaranteed to find the other item that we're looking for, which is the raft. It could be the ladder. There are 2 spots that are blocked by the ladder at this point.
This could be a seed where both these runners end up in this 4, because xIceBlue is going to go check that recorder spot.
He is.
And one runner gets the raft out of 4, and the other runner gets the ladder out of 4.
Well, we've seen crazier things happen in these first 2 races between these runners. Why not have more craziness here in game number 3? And bear in mind, the winner of this will be taking on Captain Green in the next round, so it doesn't get any easier for either of these runners in the next round. JSR was thinking about doing a world wrap, but there's one problem.
You kind of get stuck on the water.
You kind of need a ladder in order to pull that off.
So I think he is headed back to that level 2.
Makes sense. Like I said, 3 items inside, 2 inside of a staircase, 1 inside.
And honestly, xIceBlue is going to be right on top of him. For 49 minutes in, and the difference is JSR has less rupees and less bombs. And they're going to be on the same exact screen.
Yeah, but there's one other big difference. xIceBlue has unlimited bombs. xIceBlue coming across this 2Q4 and JSR doing the same. And you're going to have to walk through nothing. It's going to be a walk-through wall. There we go. Into a money or life room.
Well, xIceBlue got to pay money out of that room. JSR lost another heart, so he's actually behind by 3 hearts now.
And then we come into this room, which is going to be really, really troubling for JSR. Because it does look like these Lamola have rolled higher on the board. And they just rolled themselves into JSR to cause him to go back to start.
Yeah, this is going to be the biggest difference, is that xIceBlue can just fire at walls, figure out where he needs to go by spamming. JSR is down to 3 bombs and has to be very judicious with what he has.
xIceBlue spending a rare bomb over here. Both these runners don't realize where they both are. They've got to be getting nervous. Remember, this was a 6x4 start, and 51 minutes in, they're both in the same dungeon together. And just because I know that I've seen some people commenting about it in chat at this point, this is a random percent tournament. There are flags in this in these races here that are set to a 50-50 luck-based randomness here, whether or not they're turned on. These runners will end up playing them in game number 1. And then the loser of game number 1 gets to choose what is called a remorse flag. They can either turn something on or turn something off. Game number 2 is played, and then in game number 3, if the match is required, the loser of game number 2 will get to choose a remorse flag based on the game 1 values, which can happen in game number 3. Now, in this case, we're dealing with a second quest dungeon set. Levels 1 through 9 are all going to be second quest. The other thing to point out here, as xIceBlue is going to be leaving this level, the other thing to be keeping in mind here is that we're dealing with a mixed quest overworld. These are things that these runners don't know going into the seed. They have to figure this stuff out as they move along. And that's kind of one of the biggest things about this game. You have to adjust. You have to be able to make some choices. You have to decide. You have to think on the fly, if you will.
Both JSR and xIceBlue have determined that level 4 is blocked by the ladder.
Now let's go back to level 7. xIceBlue found both items in there. It was a wand and a heart container. We found both items of level 5, I do believe. We found both items of level 3. We've seen both items of level 2. And we've seen both items of level 1.
So it's the other item in 8 that we're looking for?
It could be one of the 2 items we're looking for in 8. We've only seen one, right?
Yeah, the floor drop might also be in 8. I don't remember if JSR got the floor drop in 8.
Welcome back to level 8, JSR. We've been expecting you. He's going to go ahead and farm a little bit and look at what this map, or rather what this, never mind, it doesn't do that because xIceBlue would have had the map in level 4 as well. I was about to say it gives us a map, but it doesn't. These runners are room for room. Unbelievable. At 54 minutes in.
You can't ask for a race better than this.
We haven't made it to 9 yet. We can ask for a better race.
Again, xIceBlue got in here behind JSR, but that boomstick sped up his combat in this room.
Oh, yeah.
He's already checked, saw the staircase, and is leaving again.
Yep. As he heads to the north here, he's going to take care of these likes just as fast. It's all because xIceBlue decided to search out that level 7, find out what was inside. Races can come down to things like that, as xIceBlue finds one of our 2 transport staircases. Based on the way that JSR was bombing, I was wondering if he was sitting close to a 10 count and end up miscounting. Now, also bear in mind, because of that, the 10 counts aren't so important to xIceBlue anymore.
That would be interesting for him to set up a 10 count now. He could only gain 2 bombs off of it.
Well,
but
yeah,
you always have it in the back of your mind that, like, oh, well, what count am I at? Because if I spend too many, I should know.
Well, it's one of those cases where he is not going to be doing it quite as much as we see JSR trying to set up 10 counts. Having that boomstick, you don't have to worry about bombs as much.
Right.
And
So
also,
much
because
that
you
you
have
don't even
boomstick,
need
you're
to
not
buy
worried
the
about the
bombs.
bomb upgrade.
But JSR still willing to throw some bombs on the floor to kill these guerrillas, gets his another drop, is able to keep going.
He's going to check this staircase, and it's one of the 7,000 staircases that inhibit this 2Q8. First item of sight of this level 8 was the Any Key. We saw that on our first trip in. JSR has decided that, nope, I have absolutely no desire whatsoever to finish that room off.
So this leads me to one of the things I'm always curious about. And I don't think I've asked you yet, Rick. So when you have a dungeon like 1Q9 or 2Q8 and you are looking for an item, do you take staircases or do you just leave them?
I think the thing is that you can't really do what you would do in 1Q9 and check all the staircases because of the one-ways. One-ways could throw you into a scenario where you have to upend A and get yourself back to start.
That makes sense, yeah. Just at this point, we're going to have to take one of these staircases because JSR has cleared out this whole top row and still has not found an item. So it's got to be something that moves us to a staircase to get to the next thing.
Yep, but what is that next thing? JSR is clearing out this room right here, trying to see what the key enemy is, and it does turn out to be that the blue whiz rope is going to be the key enemy. He clears it out, but unfortunately, there is no drop inside of this room. And JSR is going to be taking this staircase now. See whether or not xIceBlue does the same thing. And this was not much of a staircase at all. Oh, goodness, it was not much of a staircase at all.
Yeah, that's unlucky for JSR that didn't drop. Double moat rooms have a 2 out of 3 chance of being a drop.
These two runners are right next to each other once again at 58 minutes in. One thing xIceBlue is going to have to do is be careful. He is down to 1 heart remaining. He does finish off the room. For those that are just joining us near the 1 hour mark of this race, we started with 6 Triforces. We needed the Triforce out of level 8. We needed the Triforce out of level 6. We started with the any key and the letter. Unfortunately, we found out that there's not much else we can do in this seed, because we pretty much have full cleared it, just like we did in game number 2 last night.
We found the recorder. The recorder has found us level 4, but then level 4 was ladder blocked. So we are either looking for a raft to get to our 2 raft checks, or a ladder to get to our 2 second quest ladder checks along the river, which we have bombed open, and both are accessible.
Yeah, xIceBlue ended up checking those. The thing is that was very key in last night's match. It kind of drew xIceBlue to finding the ladder, because level 9 was in one of those 2 caves. What a great race. Follow these runners. xIceBlue ladder is in. The floor drop of level 8 JSR is gone. Well,
if you're JSR, you got to bomb these spots right here first.
He has to.
It's got to be your first check.
Yep, he's checking. He's probably checking his resources. And that's not a level right there. It turns out to be a mid-seeker, but he's going to check this space over here. What is 2Q8? That is not a level as well. We got to go back to 4.
Oh, we have to. 4 has the raft, which must be the last location. And without seeing 6 or 9 yet, it means that 1 raft spot is probably 9 and the other one 6. So double raft blocked.
Are you joking me? You're going to do this to our runners? But wait, there's more. Don't forget, JSR only got 1 of the items out of here to go with the any key that he saw earlier. So that's 2. There's 1 more item.
True.
And it could very well be on the other end of this ladder block that xIceBlue's seeing over here on the top left corner of this level 8.
Well, if we go into this 4 and we see a red ring in this 4, oh gosh.
Magic friends, if we go into this level 4 and we see the red ring on the floor, let's just say that you'll be purchasing my coffee tomorrow morning.
Deal. All right, so JSR with the lead here, finally getting able to dig out the rest of this 4. xIceBlue, it could find a 3rd item, but we do know that a floor item in this 8 is the ladder, and the ladder is blocking access to this 4. So
and xIceBlue is in the general area that he needs to go. I believe he needs to go 1 room to the south of where he came out with those red bubbles. But unfortunately, that's not the direction he is going.
And the scenario I pointed out earlier could still apply. That boomstick could lead xIceBlue to the other dungeon item.
And it could. We have a red bubble room here. xIceBlue finding the any key that he saw earlier in this seed for a second time. This has got to be painful when you go back into the staircase and you see the item that you saw earlier in the seed.
So xIceBlue still has the combat advantage with that boomstick, but now that JSR is getting some extra exploration out of this 4, he's inching closer and closer to the lead.
Now, one thing to note, by the way, that ladder block that I was talking about is now invalidated because this room is just to the left of that Chevy room that I was talking about. Another thing I want to note is, did JSR not try to push the heart container on the floor in 4? Did he not try to push the Goma room blocks?
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either. Let's see if he tries it this time around. If there's a shutter room, that would kind of help out with the cause. Unfortunately, there turns out to be nothing there as xIceBlue finds a second item. It is a heart container. JSR made the right move. He did try to push, and it did not move. So therefore, he did make the right decision. He did do... I didn't see it. I was more focused on the third site of the any key for xIceBlue. xIceBlue getting trapped inside of this level 8. There's the Triforce. JSR does not need that.
Yeah, I saw him push it when he walked in the room, but there were still enemies there, and I couldn't verify if I saw him do it again.
Mm-hmm. So JSR now looking for staircases.
This is not a planned-out shift, but they did have a gentleman's agreement that they must buy the book, so JSR has also bought the book, even though he does not have the one.
Hi, recorder. This is a possible block room, by the way, or a possible staircase room. This would be where the raft is located in normal level 4, but this time the staircase does not push. Hey, look at this! Zelda's not going to be in her own room! And unfortunately, JSR, you cannot ladder clip on slow mode.
And he just got hit with slow-mo. That room is going to be difficult for him to get it turned off. He needs that blue bubble to roll onto this far side.
He takes a look at his inventory, sees if he has a potion. Unfortunately, he does not.
And xIceBlue has seen all but two rooms in this dungeon. So whatever room...
He missed something in this 8.
It was a floor drop that you had to clear the room. So there's a room that he didn't clear because maybe there was another option, and he has to go figure out which one it is.
Yep, it is. Uh-oh. I think the tides of this seed have just turned. We are looking for something. We are looking probably for a raft. That's the second time we've gotten that hint. I think we're going to... Oh no! Gliak return. You are dumb, game. You are dumb. xIceBlue leaves this level 8 without the ladder. This is huge, and it's unfortunate that xIceBlue missed what he was looking for.
And we've all been in that spot where your brain's just like, I swear I've done it all. What am I missing?
Mm-hmm. Worst feeling ever. He missed one red Wizrobe, according to what Chance said. And as a result, missed out. He is going back to level 4, unfortunately, and he's going to find himself in yet another ladder block. Who knew that going for only 2 Triforces...
This is a staircase we have not seen yet. Oh, but it's the wrong side of the other staircase.
Yeah, and JSR's concentration of rooms that he needs to check are in this section. But now he's going to have to take this staircase. And he still remains in this corridor.
But he can get to these 2 rooms to the left that he couldn't see before.
Well, if he collects 100 rupees, he can get a 1-up. He will buy the bomb upgrade. Here is a corridor staircase. Is this the item we're looking for?
A heart?
No!
That's 2 of the items in this 4, and both were hearts.
Yep, we're looking for the other staircase. Third item? Don't forget, there's 2 staircase items inside of this level 4.
There's not much that JSR hasn't seen yet. Just, I think the room to the right, there's a couple rooms in the bottom right corner that he hasn't seen. That's it. Yes, can't find bombs. It is a boomstick seed. xIceBlue was able to dig the wand out of 7. And JSR has not gone back into 7.
Ooh, this room is it. Both of them come across it. And that is the raft. Oh, baby, this just got interesting.
So now they both have the raft. xIceBlue doesn't have the ladder.
My goodness, he may not need it.
All right, we are gonna find 9 pretty. We're gonna find 6 very soon, and then we might find 9.
You remember when xIceBlue missed out on that ladder in level 8? And we were sitting there thinking that this had just pretty much killed this race? Well,
and
he
now
just
we're back
told
to
us,
even.
nope, not this time. What are we finding here on the coast island? It is
6.
level 6.
Oh, but the first room is ladder blocked.
Goodness! No!
He scratched his way out of the grave to only get knocked right back in by the first room.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And where they started, there's no place for him to go. That's it. He just has to go back into 8 and find that ladder.
Yeah. He is dumbfounded at this point, and he's full clear that 8. That is what's making him feel even worse. Wow. This has just been a crazy, crazy seed.
All right, so it looks like, let's see which dungeon he goes to. If he does go back to 8, then he still has a chance because of his combat advantage and because of he does not need as many bombs. So he'll still have a chance. If he decides to go dip like 7 or 5 or something, like because he thinks he forgot something there, then I don't know how he's ever going to recover.
I don't know if he's going to be recovered at this point. 8's going to be the last spot because of the fact that he's full cleared this thing. I do not see him recovering from this. Now, of course, he just proved me wrong by getting the raft out of 4 microseconds before JSR did. And there is the Triforce location for JSR. xIceBlue's about to tell us that this is level 9.
Wow, double raft block seed, ladder block, recorder block, and we're not even into.
And a power bracelet blocked.
Yes, we needed every overworld exploration item except for the ladder, and then we needed the ladder as soon as we got in a dungeon.
That is right. So we needed the recorder in 2, but first, before we did that, we needed the power bracelet to get into level 2, because level 2 was in that desert power bracelet spot south of the ferry. JSR taking the staircase just in case it was an item. Unfortunately, it's not, so he's just going to have to go 1 room to the south and claim this Triforce piece. You need the recorder to get into level 4 where the raft was.
Shoot room into the Triforce.
You need the staircase. Oh my goodness, you need the staircase. Are you joking me?
Can we find anything else required in this seed?
Wow. That's all I have to say is just wow to that. And wants this to be the staircase that takes him over the northeast section of this level 6.
Not even close.
Not close, but it's not close, but it will do. The search continues. Meanwhile, xIceBlue goes back to level 4. And that is another staircase, which should take him to that room. There it is.
There we go.
Vanilla location of the ladder room in level in 2Q6. There we go. Triforce is picked up for JSR. And it is time for him to go into
level 9.
Thank you very much. Now we do know from what we saw from xIceBlue that Zelda will not be in her normal room.
So that is some information that, again, xIceBlue got a lot of extra information in this seed, but did not get the right items. So that's really what's hindering him. JSR
here.
has... So that's one thing that will probably stall JSR until he sees Ganon. There's a 50% chance that Ganon and Zelda are in their own rooms. And
But we know that's not going to be the case.
It won't be the case in this seed, but since it's about 50% and you don't know until you find Ganon, most runners will assume that, and they'll track 9 by going from south to north. That way, if they do find a door that is shuttered, it is more likely to be Zelda's door, and they can figure out, is it open, is it closed immediately.
Right, and here's the thing is that you make that mention, and JSR did not see what xIceBlue saw in that level 8. And for people cheering on a bait block Zelda, that's not going to be the case. We saw both bait blocks in 3 and 8.
The only thing that could block JSR from getting to an open Zelda would be a shutter-doored Gleeok, or a shutter-doored Goma, because he hasn't bought arrows yet. And he can't buy arrows.
Well, he could, but if he
doesn't have enough money for arrows.
You'd have to grind pretty extensively for it.
It would not be the first time in this tournament that we saw money grinding matter for a seed.
Yeah, shout out to that J. Coper Crystal Saver race. JSR is in another one of those block rooms here. Bombs over here to the left. Finds a key, and now it's going to be stuck on slow mode. He's probably muttering a few words.
All right, so this top right ear doesn't seem to do anything.
xIceBlue's back in 8.
JSR might go fairy fountain here.
Yeah, he's going to crawl his way to the fairy fountain. And just a note, both of these runners are a beast at this game. They are very, very good. We've seen xIceBlue doing a whole bunch of his bomb counting and farming. We've seen JSR do the same thing. It's just one mental error here from xIceBlue, not clearing out the one room he needed to. But he didn't know he needed to clear that room.
And for what chat was saying, it's a room that has just a single red Wizrobe kind of hanging out there. Now, I don't know if that's respawned if that room respawned, but he left a Wizrobe alive in one of those rooms and just kept going to the other side.
JSR is going to go over and respawn this screen to get those Lionels into a better position. And xIceBlue here in this section of level 8. Finding the heart container once again.
At this point, you just grab it so you don't want to see it again.
He's not happy at this point. You know he's not happy.
No, he is racking his brain. Red ring for JSR.
And JSR now will have a little more of a relief of the fact that the silver arrows are more likely to be inside of this level 9. They're not guaranteed, but more likely. Of course, he would just like to find Princess Zelda to end this thing right then and there.
Yeah, we do know that
Never mind.
There is the possibility for things like important items in 9 to move those arrows, but since we needed every item, there's no important items that could be in 9.
The kidnap awaits in the southwest of Skull. Now, there's the ladder for xIceBlue, but he's got a haul butt to level 6, and don't forget, we've had a crazy match between these two back in Game 2 where JSR made up a whole bunch of time. This could be the case here. This race is not over with.
Now the xIceBlue... Oh! Wall mastered by JSR. He's got to go back to start.
Yeah, but now he's going to try to probably check this southwest hint.
Well, the game is not letting you go southwest early, but that'll push us over.
Yes, and I have a feeling this might be a shutter door that doesn't open. Oh, it does open. Never mind.
All right, so the southwest is going to be below the letter A in the any key, and it's going to be equal to or below that, and it's going to be in the sections that are at L, E, V, and E.
There's the silvers for
Found
JSR.
the arrows.
xIceBlue's window is tightening up.
Yeah, even Ganon now can't slow JSR down.
xIceBlue needs to luck himself into the Triforce at this stage.
Yeah, we know he needs to go north a couple spots and then take a staircase.
Mm-hmm. He is making the right play, though.
He's got to go north one more from here.
Another shorter door coming up in this room for JSR. As xIceBlue opted to see that it was a staircase, but it did not take it.
No opening. That is Ganon required. So JSR needs to listen for the roar of Ganon.
JSR now with 2 pieces of this puzzle, and xIceBlue is about to get the bad news about this level 6. Listening out for the roar of the pig as he moves to this level 9.
At this point, it's going to take xIceBlue probably about 2 to 3 minutes to figure out how to get to that
I hear it.
other staircase.
That shirt room, we could hear the roar.
Yeah, unless JSR would have to make a really big error here to mess this up. So
He's
south of that ready for a pig fight.
JSR is able to bomb down. Can he go to the left? He can. Walk through wall.
Here's Ganon.
JSR pulls out the silver arrows. And we are going to have to defeat him. With more than just one swing of a sword. Stun lock for JSR. What a beauty of a stun lock. Great stun lock for JSR.
JSR knows how to get to the princess. This is gonna be GAG for JSR. He's gonna knock xIceBlue out of this event.
Yeah, JSR just needs to get back to the staircase and he'll wrap himself around a few rooms, save the princess, but xIceBlue will finally get into level 9 just shortly, but oh wait, that was not a staircase, that was a one-way staircase, so JSR is going to have to do an up and A. xIceBlue will not even be in level 9 by the time the JSR ends up getting into, or xIceBlue will not be in level 9 by the time the JSR finishes this thing off.
Yeah, this was a very tight race for 55 plus minutes, but ironically, the speed that xIceBlue was going because of his extra equipment caused him to skip the most important room in the game, finding that ladder. And because JSR had to go very carefully through the dungeon and keep track of his bombs, he ended up killing those red wizrobes, maybe to get a bomb drop, and that won him the game.
Yeah, and this was just an unfortunate effect here for xIceBlue at this point. He missed the room with the ladder. JSR was able to get it. xIceBlue will just be entering level 9 as JSR sees the shutter door to open up, and it will be him and Captain Green in the next round of the Zelda 1 Randomizer Random Percent Tournament. Get your GGs in the chat for JSR, finishing with an official SRL time of 1:23:58. Let's go ahead and speak to JSR.
Well, hello there.
So, JSR,
How are you doing?
I've had the thrill of calling all 3 matches of this, and what a topsy-turvy seed, or what a topsy-turvy series this was between you two.
Okay, first off, I just want to say thanks to everybody, because I was like on the board, salty and excited the entire seed. that was a seed, man. That was quite a seed. That's all I can say.
So obviously you got an answer from xIceBlue about the ladder being his undoing. You were the first one to get to the ladder in level 8. You both were in level 8 the same time, around that 58-59 minute mark. xIceBlue full cleared the seed, or full cleared that 8, did not get the ladder drop, and went to level 6, or went back to level 4, where something interesting happened, but then it didn't.
So when I got the hint up on Death Mountain, and I don't know if Ice got it or not, that the raft was in 4, even though I knew that the hint for the magic shield was a lie, so it was deceptive hints, but I was like, my mindset is in that situation, I'm going to go after that hint every single time. You know, it's all I have to work with, right? So I went to 4, and it was ladder block. Well, I thought it was ladder block. Turned out it wasn't, but I thought it was.
Which magic shield were you talking about? Which hint?
There was a hint on Death Mountain. I think it said the magic shield was an 8, but I already had the magic shield. I think I got it in, I don't remember what level it was. It feels like 3 hours ago.
It was in level 1 where you got it from, and we never saw xIceBlue find that magic shield, by the way. But the interesting aspect was we knew that 2 of the hints were not true that you purchased up there on Death Mountain, but it did help you lead towards where that level 4 turned out to be. The Gleeok returns with the raft, and that level 4 was kind of mean.
So when I saw that, I initially panicked. But I had already found 2 of the 3 items in 8. The any key and the ladder were in 8. So I knew that the odds of it being an 8 over 4, considering I knew that the hints were deceptive, I was like, this has a better shot. I have 2 items left in 4. I'm going to full clear it now. I'm here. This is full clear it. And if it's not here, we'll go to 8. I mean, at that point, it's kind of just a complete, gamble at that point. So when I came to the point where I only had 1 room left in 4, I was quite expecting any second to see that dot done. The entire seed, I kept looking up, shocked that he had finished. I thought I was cooked, man.
So to give you an idea of how close this was, you kept finding everything about 30 seconds before xIceBlue, but in level 7, xIceBlue got the wand. And since you both gentlemen's agreement for the book, so he's had the boomstick for almost 40 minutes. So you would get in a dungeon, you would be there first, but you would be moving slower. He would catch up and pass you by a room, maybe 2 rooms. We're talking you were on top of each other for 15 minutes, almost neck and neck.
Oh, man, I kept thinking about the wand the whole seed, too.
Mm-hmm. You know the crazy...
I mean, when I saw... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, you know the crazy thing about this seed, by the way?
What was that?
He was able to get to the raft in level 4 without the ladder. And we're thinking, well, this is looking pretty good for him. And then all of a sudden, you enter level 6, and what do you see in that first room up?
A ladder block.
A ladder block.
All right, xIceBlue is in his Ganon fight. He has a pretty decent stun lock going here in the bottom left corner, and he has the silver arrows to kill, so he should be finishing up in the next couple of minutes.
To give you an idea of how close this race was, when You went into level 6. xIceBlue was just right behind you. His return to level 8 ended up being the big difference of this match. And then when he ended up going to level 9, that was when you got to Princess Zelda to finish the seed. What a crazy, crazy 3-game series this was.
Yeah, the two of you put on a great show for us.
Yeah, I was really nervous when I saw in 6 that the raft was in that room and it wasn't ladder blocked. Because I thought I was kind of in a good position that I had found the ladder, because I knew it was deep in 8. I knew that was a big thing, that, you know, it was going to be kind of a hard thing for him to find. When I saw that raft wasn't ladder blocked, my heart dropped. Like, I was like, no, dude, especially because I didn't see any of the ladder blocks until 6. So, and of course, the whole time I keep looking at my map, and I'm like, I still haven't found level 9 yet. And I'm thinking, like, the only levels left were level 6 and level 9, and they both happen to be raft blocked. And not very nice game.
How about the seed? It was in every item required seed.
Mm-hmm. Every item required.
You needed the power bracelet to get into level 2 where the recorder was. You needed the recorder to get to the level 4 spot, or to get to level 4 where the raft was, which got you into 6 as well as level 9. And you, of course, also needed the bow, thanks to Ganon being required.
I mean, luckily the red ring was.
And we needed the book.
Yeah, and we needed the book. So pretty much, and the book. Let's not forget the banana. That boomerang saved my bacon a few times. And that was a rough seed combat wise.
We're gonna ask this when xIceBlue comes in here in just a few moments, because I really want to get both of your thoughts about this because of the gentleman's agreement that both of you had in regards to this seed, and then to find out that it was a boomstick. So we'll hold off on that for just a few moments here.
Sure.
Let's talk about the next round. It doesn't get any easier for you because you'll be going up against Captain Green 7.
Yeah, him and I have we've played each other many, many times in the battle royales. I don't know if we've ever faced off in a tournament. I can't recall for sure, but I mean, it's been really remarkable to watch him grow to the point where he's one of the best. And I mean, that's kind of the gist of this tournament at this point, is no matter where you are in the tournament, everyone you're facing can beat you. And I just played one of the best rando racers, one of the most underrated rando racers in Z1R in xIceBlue, and I can't wait to congratulate and thank him for, you know, an amazing race. This was something we talked about yesterday with you guys, that we've been looking forward to this for a long time. And everybody I face in this tournament is talented, and I just, at this point, I'm here to have fun. I'm here to just enjoy the ride and just see what happens, I guess. I don't really know what to say.
Let's go ahead and get him in here as we welcome in xIceBlue into the conversation. So my first question to you is that you both had discussed about the gentleman's agreement heading into this race, about the importance about picking up the book. What did you think when you found out that this was a boomstick seed and you had to pay the 214 rupees to be able to fulfill this agreement?
I mean, at second quest, it wouldn't matter, because everything is walk through walls except for 137. It's one reason why I absolutely despise second quest, because of basically what you just witnessed today in the seed. A staircase that led to a drop room.
Yeah,
Which
that
was
Triforce in 6.
Oh, dude, that Triforce in 6. I was this entire seed. It felt like a Plando. This thing was stupid.
Chat actually asked, "Is this a Plando?" there was people in chat being like, "There's no way this could roll like this."
Required dive in the 4 that you could barely check to get the raft to find 6 and 9, which, by the way, nice dungeon placement on the raft tiles.
Yeah, the whole time I'm panicking, and then I saw 6 and 9 were missing, and I was like, nice. I have to go get the raft now.
We were mentioning in chat that every single item that could be required in the seed was required. Power bracelet to get to recorder, to get to raft, and then ladder to get to the Triforce and 6, and then obviously the bow and the silvers.
Yeah, that ladder placement really destroyed me. I was in level 8 extremely early because I rushed Woodsword spot, vanilla Woodsword, and I went by that room. I can't even count how many times I went by that room.
I'll be honest, you would not have thought that when you started off with the 6 Triforces that we would be talking about the winner taking 83 minutes to finish the seed. But, this seed did that to us through many, many miserable ways.
I was completely unaware that a staircase room could drop you off into a drop room. But then again, I don't touch second quest because it's literally the worst thing on the planet.
The one-way staircases in level 8. The only thing that you knew about that JSR didn't know about going into 9 was the fact that Zelda was not going to be in her room.
Yeah, I knew that. Just from the fact vanilla Triforce rooms weren't turned on, so Ganon and Zelda were definitely not going to be in their actual rooms.
And that plus the fact that you found Zelda's room in level 8.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually wasn't 100% sure on that. There's still a lot of flags like that I'm still learning about. There's so many different possibilities in this flag set, and my initial strategy in 9 was to go up, and then of course I ran into that room with the red bubbles, and that was I was fuming. I'm not gonna lie, I was fuming. I was like, you know what, I'm going to the fairy fountain. I don't care if Ice and I are tied right now. I'm going to the fairy fountain. I am not doing this slow. The seed, man.
So my splits right now, if you want to know how quickly I was in 8. I grabbed the Triforce out of 8 at 6 minutes and 34 seconds.
So to give you an idea, the two of you were on top of each other for about 15 minutes between 43-ish and 58 minutes. And I mean, when I was telling JSR earlier, because JSR kept finding the thing you needed first, but only by 1 or 2 screens, and then your boomstick would catch you back up and pass him a little bit in each dungeon.
I mean, I'll admit, the beginning of that seed was very bomb-starved. I was trying to force bombs on Death Mountain, and it kept giving me 5-6 HP Lionels, and I had to go back to Death Mountain, and it turned out to even just be nothing.
Yeah, we were talking in the IRC before the race, and somebody said something like, I think it was Fury or Ice, one of you guys, but you were saying that you wanted the keys to roll up to max HP, and then everything seemed to roll up max HP, and I'm like, I'm going to blame the IRC chat. This was rigged. This was rigged.
I actually was super generous with Wiz Robes.
Yeah, the Wiz Robes aren't bad.
Red Wiz Robes were the nicest thing ever.
Actually, Blues were nice. Blues died to 2 bombs.
I also liked that when you re-rolled the room, and I used that a few times in the seed where you re-roll the enemies that spawn, that the blue Wiz Robes would despawn first, and that made it a little easier. But the Dark Nuts were jerks, the Tektites were jerks, the Light Lights were extreme jerks.
When I grabbed the Wood Sword and they had that one red Dark Nut on the screen, 7 hits.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a miserable seed.
I died on the way to the Wood Sword. I was like, oh, this is setting the tone.
Yeah, you got hugged by a blue Dark Nut, and, well, that was unfortunate.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, as bad as this seed was, I still enjoyed myself. And I want to say thank you, Ice, for the race, man. I can't wait to watch it back. Yep. It was a real pleasure to get the race you, my dude.
Go watch my VOD. You'll see my look of disgust when I see that ladder drop. I think I dropped maybe 12 curse words at it, maybe more.
Well, in that case, we should be glad that your microphone was not turned on for that.
Yeah, I was saying a few choice words. I was pretty heated at some points in this seed, but after about 30 minutes of troll, I was just kind of like, Yeah,
Dude,
I'm
like,
just
I
gonna.
went back and forth to 8 and 4 because like I have everything marked off. I'm like, what am I missing? Like
No,
I full cleared 8 except for 2 rooms in the spiral because it was ladder blocked.
I mean, I kind of did the same thing. I went into 4, saw that it was a ladder block. I thought I checked the wall that led to the raft.
I thought I did too, and then I looked and I walked down and I was like, oh. Well,
So I went to 8, and I found the ladder. I actually found it reasonably quick. It wasn't that bad because I still had a ton of 8 to look at. And when I went back to 4, I full cleared it. And I was like, oh my God, it's in that one room that's not even a ladder block. I thought you were going to beat me, dude. I thought it was over.
Oh, the moment I found that ladder, I honestly wanted to quit because I already knew that I was way behind.
And then, as you're entering level 9, you see the dot done, and you think,
I said,
Salvation.
thank God. I said, thank God. I'm gonna introduce this seed to my recycle bin, and then I'm gonna delete my recycle bin.
Well, I'm glad I could get the book in our seed for you, sir. Regardless of the result, this was my tribute.
And like, I was all the way up in the northeast corner, and I found a large secret, and it put me at 250 rupees, and I just up 8, and I was like, I'm rushing the book.
Yeah, you both ended up rushing the book at some point here, and you both found out the boomstick aspect of this. Well, actually, JSR found out the boomstick before xIceBlue did in regards to finding the magic shield in 1.
Yeah, but never found that wand, which I think you said was in 7.
Yep.
Yeah, I never even said. I went into 7. I went one room in and said, nope, I'm out.
Oh, I did that in the very beginning. I found 7, but when I found wood sword, I had some bombs. I went in there and I ended up finding red candle in 5 very early.
Yeah, I found a hint on Death Mountain. I think that said red candle was in 5. I think I saw a hint for red candle, but
That's funny,
I also
there was also another hint that said the lady on Death in the woods has the red candle, and I was like, okay, it's deceptive hints.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I found that hint on Death Mountain for the raft. I was telling them, and then I found the hint in 4, and I don't know if you saw that one, but I was kind of panicking a little bit.
Oh, I didn't touch 4. I grabbed the raft, and then I went back to.
The hint for the raft, with the Gliok returns with the raft, that was in level 4, that was beyond the ladder block, so xIceBlue wasn't going to be able to see it.
I didn't go back to 4, because that 8 was the last thing I could check. And then I found that ladder, and I just rushed 6.
So, unfortunately, xIceBlue, we have to say goodbye to you as far as this tournament is concerned, but is there anything you want to say as you make your exit out of here? Anything you want to say to JSR or his opponent, Captain Green 7?
No, just good luck and GG's on the race. Thank you for picking up the book. Glad to see we have another supporter in the cult.
Whoa. And let's back it up a couple steps
there's no
here.
going back. You touch the book, you can't go back.
Oh, dear. It was a boomstick seed. I was justified.
Nope, you didn't even find the boomstick.
Hey, GG's, man. Thank you.
Yeah, GG's. Give Captain Green some hell.
I'm going to do my best. It'll be a fun match. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Let's give it up for both. I'm sorry.
I would say, snipe a couple of his streams. Figure out
Oh,
what he likes and what
dear.
he doesn't like.
Dear.
And then snipe him later on.
Oh, dear.
Gonna be a fun matchup coming up here in the 3rd round of the elimination bracket between JSR and Captain Green 7. GG's to both of you, and good luck to you, JSR, and thank you for joining us, xIceBlue.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, guys, for the commentary. Of course, everyone over at SpeedGaming and everyone behind the scenes. Appreciate all of you.
If you want more Zelda 1 Randomizer random percent tournament action, we've got another match for you beginning in 30 minutes from now. It is going to be a doubleheader between Jay Coper and Sea Falcon. That's going to be right over here on Speed Gaming 3. Melee Wizard and Dracia is going to be on the call for that one for the doubleheader. Once again, that begins at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time in about 30 minutes from now. Also tonight is game number 3 of that epic series between Shaddy and Imasong. That's going to be over on 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern in about 2 hours and 15 minutes from now over on twitch.tv/Randomania2 with Fury, SK, and Adaginos on the call for that. Coming up tomorrow, Elendar versus Almighty Bobino. That's at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Saiton versus Bogey Smalls at 10 o'clock Eastern. Dr. J, PhD versus Frying Teeth. Game 1, that's going to be at 10 o'clock Eastern. And then Game 2 between Fred and Eat My Steel. That's going to be at 11 o'clock. Be sure to check out the schedule to find out when those matches are going to be. Let's thank Zoas19 for doing the tracking for us. Magic friends, I had a good time.
That was a lot of fun. Make sure you give these runners a follow. Give the commentators and Adirondack Rick, myself, and Zoas a follow, and keep up to date with that schedule. We've got plenty more races all through the week, and we've got we're going to see a lot of elimination bracket stuff this week. So make sure you tune in, because this might be the last time you see these guys for a little while. Give them your love, and make sure you give them the follows.
Absolutely. So be sure to keep up with what's going on here in the Random Percent tournament. Thank you for joining us. Once again, another match begins in 29 minutes from now at 9:15 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for joining us here on Speed Gaming 3.
Have a good night, friends.